Here in video 8, we will want to add transitions to our images on the timeline and then also finish off with some black video. So at this point you should have a timeline built, and you really should have all of the pictures that you plan to use for this video from Photoshop set up. So if you haven't done that, make sure you do get that done. You should have upwards of 20 images, all the work that you have done for the fall semester. Once you do have that, take that piece of black video and put it right on the end of the last image. Transitions are used to go from either the black video to your first image or between videos. The default transition is no transition, just kind of a jump cut. Just goes from one image to the other. And there are many times when that is the desired effect. However, if you want something different, what we will do is come over here and take a look in the project window. And notice that we have some different tabs here within the project window. You can go in and actually browse on your computer for images, some information about what you have with respect to the settings. And then we have effects. The other thing you can do is to grab these tabs and move them. So I like to take the effects and just put it over here close to the project window. So it's real easy to jump back and forth. Then within the effects, there's presets, audio effects, audio transitions, video effects, and video transitions, and at some point we will use all of these. But for this video, we are interested in video transitions. The most basic transition is a dissolve. Drop the triangle, and notice that on the cross dissolve there is a yellow frame. The yellow frame indicates that this is the default transition should you automate transitions to your timeline. Transitions are applied by grabbing the transition and dragging it between the images. So this cross dissolve then fades in the first image. And then you can see how it works as you place it across two images. Cross fades from one to the other. Because it is the default transition, you can use a shortcut key to automatically apply that transition between images by holding down the Control key and press the letter D. Control D will apply a transition. So once again, take those transitions and place them right between the two images. Additionally, if you click on the transition, you can adjust the duration of the transition. And you can do that by coming up to the preview window. And notice that we have our source tab, and then we also have effects controls. Because we're selected on that cross dissolve, the effect controls for that transition appear. So right now you can see the duration is 1 second. And so if you want that transition to be faster, let's say just a half second, you would type in 15 frames. And so now it's half the speed. And so now that transition duration is just half of a second. If you want it to last longer, you could type in 2 seconds, 200. Get a nice slow transition. And so that will conclude an intro to transitions. Note that you can also experiment with some of the different options available. Those are just all the dissolves, and then you have 3D motions, irises, maps. And so what I encourage you to do for this video is go through and become familiar with many of these so that as we progress through the spring semester, you have in your mind what type of effect you might want to have to create the desired program. So go ahead and add transitions as you wish for the rest of your video, and then at some point have me come by and take a look at your timeline. In our next video, we'll start looking at titles.